So almost a year ago, Samsung released this fabulous device called the Samsung Galaxy S8. This phone has a 5.8-inch Quad HD display that's 1440 by 2960. They have that 18.5 by 9 or something, like some crazy aspect ratio, which is absolutely fabulous as far as making the phone smaller and more narrow and easier on the hand. You do have a 12 megapixel camera on the back with 4 gigs of RAM and a 3000 milliamp hour battery inside this beast. Powering it is the also famous Snapdragon 835. Now, the Snapdragon 835 is a processor that's fantastic for efficiency. This phone has IP68 water and dust certification. It's got an iris scanner. It's got a heart rate monitor. Samsung packs their phones down, like they pack it all the way in, man, for features and options. And honestly, I don't know of any phones that have more features than Samsung devices when it comes to their TouchWiz or Samsung Experience, whatever. There's not a lot of phones that pack that much into it. There's very few. And this could be a good or a bad thing. Now, I do have the Galaxy Note 8 as well, which is another one of my daily drivers, proven to be just a fantastic. Look at how the Galaxy Note 8 kind of just towers over the S8. But what I will say is that the Galaxy S8 should be a fan favorite. To me, this is Samsung's bread and butter. Now, I reviewed this phone last year, at least 9 months ago, probably. And I started using it again, and I thought, you know, I owe these people an update. So let's take it out of this beautiful case here. I was out and about, and here's the device. Now, I do have an orchid gray now instead of a black, and I went with that because, you know, the black just got a little dull to me, and I was like, I want something a little bit better and shinier and a little bit more style to it. And at first, the orchid gray looked like purple. When I first saw it, and I thought, not really feeling that. But I said, I got to ditch this black and I got to get the orchid gray for sure. And this has just been a fantastic experience this second, third, fourth, fifth time around that I've actually used this phone. It has just a beautiful form factor. When I first reviewed this phone, sometimes it takes for you to have a phone for a long time or get rid of a phone and go back to a phone to really appreciate it after using several other phones. And so with me, I take a realistic approach. At the time of recording a video, that's how I'm feeling at that time. But after a while, you know, of having the Galaxy Note 8, I was like, I cannot live without a smaller version of this phone. And my only option is the Galaxy S8. Now, a lot of people might be raving about the Galaxy S9 coming, but I'm still excited about today's flagship. This is Samsung's latest offerings. This is their bread and butter right here, and it's actually really good. Performance on this thing is flying. It is really nice. I don't have any problems with the device at all. So if you're wondering what, a lot of people ask what themes that I'm using. The icon pack is called Black, BLAQ. And then the theme I'm using is called SD_black. So look those up. You can have yours looking like this if you like. A lot of people have been asking. That is my setup. I've really been enjoying the cameras on this device. The cameras shine bright. Like, they are so nice, man. Just the overall quality of the cameras are fantastic. I'm going to switch now to this camera and show you what I mean. Alright, welcome to a shaky cam production from the Galaxy S8. Now, this is just a quick video sample from the Galaxy S8. This is 1080p at 60 frames per second. I've noticed that sometimes I have to lock the focus on this phone, but this is just a recording sample of my Galaxy Note 8. Yeah, the Galaxy S8 is a tried and true boss for rear cameras and front. Yo. No, I'm doing way too much right now. But here's the front camera on this phone. Totally perfect for doing vlogs and things like that, but you gotta have the right lighting. I've learned that some phones tend to wash out or just don't produce accurate colors in certain settings, but this is almost the perfect setting for this camera. Colors are very accurate from what I can see through the viewfinder, and I like how the audio is on the Galaxy Note 8, Galaxy S8. It has fantastic audio recording. So yeah, the cameras on this thing are absolutely great. I really enjoyed it. I could use this to run the channel. One thing I noticed though, the cameras on this phone right here, sometimes they produce better footage than my Galaxy Note 8. I don't know how that's possible, but it definitely has something to do with the lighting. That's definitely it. But overall, the performance is good. The cameras are still fantastic on this phone. The form factor on here is it's just doggone near perfect, man. It is just almost perfect. The only thing I don't like is I would have actually liked a metal back on here. That's why sometimes lately I've been keeping my phones in cases if I don't have a skin or anything on it. But overall, man, the phone is fantastic. Good form factor. I've been using the iris scanner a lot because the iris scanner is really fast, and it just works really well. The placement of the fingerprint reader for this phone is actually great. If you guys remember, I really liked the Galaxy S8 the first time I had it, and I was really pumped up about it, and I'm still excited about it. The Galaxy S8 to me is kind of one of those well-rounded phones. Like, remember how I told you how I went from the iPhone X to the iPhone 8 Plus, or the iPhone 8 is the better purchase over the iPhone 10. That's kind of how I feel about the Samsung Galaxy S8. If you want a big screen in a small form factor that almost kind of takes advantage of the entire body, the Galaxy S8 is it, or the Galaxy S8 Plus. But the Galaxy S8 is the more realistic purchase, I think, for a lot of people that I would recommend, because you may not have the 6.2 inch or the 6.3 inch screen, but you also don't have that fumble hand. You got to jiggle your way up to the top just to get to the top of the phone, because the phone is so tall or so narrow or so big. So with the Galaxy S8, they saw for that. You know, this is Samsung's way of responding to people who want a small phone, but still has a lot of punch. And this phone does it. It's really that good. Battery life on this thing has been exceptional. I really haven't had any issues with it. Let me see where my battery life stands at the moment. Let's go into device maintenance and then battery. Let's just see where it's at right now. So battery usage, I haven't charged it since 14 hours ago. And screen on time, probably 3.5 hours. That's actually fantastic, folks. 3.5 hours, and I haven't charged it since 14 hours ago, almost 15 hours ago. That's actually really solid. To me, that's good battery. If I can go 2 days and get about 6 hours of screen on time, or a day and a half with 6 hours of screen on time, that is boss. Now, Samsung keeps the headphone jack, which is absolutely great. That is fantastic. They do that. Now, I personally use Bluetooth, but sometimes I want to plug in and check audio on something, and I want to do it through a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack, or at least Type-C, just plugging in. And I can do it with this phone. Now, this phone isn't all roses, obviously. Like I said before, the back of this phone, just the overall build quality is really slippery, and you need a skin or a case, which is where I keep mine at. I've been keeping this phone in a case because, unlike the Galaxy Note 8, I don't have a skin on here. It's the Galaxy Note 8. I obviously put a skin on there, and I will be putting a skin on here. But it's just one of those things where, you know, it's just too slippery. It's too slippery. And, you know, they need to work on that. The device is beautiful, don't get me wrong, but it's a little too slippery for me. And supposedly on the Galaxy S9, this fingerprint reader is going to be up here. They're going to employ this orientation for all this right here, which to me really doesn't matter for the Galaxy S9 because it's a compact phone. Now, another thing that's not my favorite is the speaker quality. Now, the speaker quality is good, but I would have liked for them to put one up here as well. It would have been nice to put because they can do it. You know, if Apple can do it in their phones and every other company can do it in theirs, HTC did it in theirs, you can put one through the earpiece and have that bottom speaker there for a sub or mids and something like that. So it's really good. I'm glad that they finally went to Type-C. They're doing big things with this. You still get an SD card slot. The IP68 alone is really good. It's HDR10 compliant. You know, you've got always on display. And I don't keep it turned on, but you do have the edge sense, you know, the edge display. And that's very useful. Opening 2 apps at one time, because split screen is actually what I've been using a lot on these phones, especially on my Galaxy Note 8. I've been using split screen on the Galaxy S8 a heck of a lot more because of the compact size. So that's something to be desired, I think, by everybody, no matter how big your hands are. And I have big hands. But I have big hands. You can see now the Galaxy Note 8 is super big. But the S8 to me is the all-around, well-rounded phone that I think you should consider picking up. It's lightweight, compact, beautiful design, and I think it's a win-win. So, it's your man Jay Will. I will see you guys in the next video. Leave a comment down below. Are you still using the Galaxy S8? Let me know. Take care.